Let's talk with Urvashi. Today we have another wonderful being. He is very dynamic coach. He is a chef. He's from London and he started his journey London to Canada to New York and around the world. He has this wonderful explanation and his way of telling the world that why courage mindset is important to navigate the life. He's a mindset coach. He helps people with courage, how to define courage and how to regain or how to build the courage in the life to navigate through life. Let's explore his way, his journey, and how he is contributing his life and his experiences, knowledges to the world. Do comment below that in the future what kind of mindset or courage or career related solutions that you guys want to hear. Stay blissful, stay healthy.
Hello, thank you very much for having me on.
Yes, today we have Ezra Sinclair, and I know a little bit about him. He is a wonderful, amazing coach, and he works with the confidence mindset coach. And today we're going to explore about the one of the soft skill that everybody we carry, which is confidence, a mindset. So Ezra, do you wanna start with it?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the warm welcome. So as you said, my name is Ezra and I am a career confidence coach. I kind of got into self-development myself when I was going to college. So I traveled to college from my town to London, and it was about an hour and a half every morning. So that was like the first real start of me leaving home. And on those journeys, I used to listen to podcasts of self-development. So this was when I was 17, and it was The Art of Charm. And they were like my first introduction into it, like how you hold yourself, your body language, and how to like really promote yourself as a person. So I was about an hour there and an hour there and an hour and a half back, normally because it was about rush hour. And these podcasts just like really ignited a flame for me on how to grow and be yourself as a person. I feel a lot of people struggle nowadays with who they are and decisions they're making because of a lot of reasons like judgment and fear from things that have been brought up through their childhood and even going on to later life, adult life. So when I was training, I trained in London as a chef for 2 years. And I went into that from, going to college and not wanting to do the route that most people were doing, just taking the stuff that I had already. So I wanted to change it up, and I went skiing for a year before I joined college. And I trained to be a ski instructor in Canada. And it was like a big step for me. I was 17. I flew off by myself and I traveled across the world and trained. I was one of the youngest people there training. And so from an early age, I've been quite independent. It was quite scary still, but it was exciting, more exciting than anything for me. And after which is when I went to college and I took the route of being a chef because I didn't want to go to that like academic route that I'd chosen originally. And from then on, I worked as a chef for up to 8 years now in fine dining, and I traveled the world doing that. Again, the confidence it instilled in me traveling around by myself a lot of the time and taking on new jobs. So I was going for a lot of jobs where I believed it was one of the best options for me at the time where I was. So I would look and research all the restaurants around where I was and find ones that really stuck out to me and take on those jobs as a way to move myself forward and grow in my career. And like a lot of the time I would be just literally just going for like what I thought was the best of the best that I could do there, and which would grow my skill set the most as a chef. Um, it was it was really interesting going between all these different kitchens and restaurants, and learning how they all take on like the enrollment process, and how a lot of it is who you are in the interview and how you come across rather than the experience you've actually had. And it's a lot of people can see that, and they feel it and they feel that vibe. And I think it's really helped my career that like I've had that purpose of trying to be better and trying to grow and wanting to do better and wanting to grow better. So that can be seen in interviews. And that's like a confidence-based thing. So as I was doing that over the last 8 years, I've been really invested in self-development and mindset and confidence work. So whilst I was working on yachts as a chef, I decided to take the Jay Shetty program as a way to better myself during the time I was on there on yachts. And after that process, I just fell in love with coaching. It's a way that I really felt aligned with what I'd been learning for the last, say, 10, 12 years in self-development, and a way that I could then pass it on to other people to grow and change and become people they deserve to be, rather than the people that are held back by the norms or the social ways of life that they've had so far. So after doing the course with Jay Shetty, I then went on and I've finished another course with Rob Dial, which again was an amazing course. And I've now homed in onto what I want, and it's more a career confidence direction with it. Um, just so I can around me, I find myself surrounded now like by people who are in positions or jobs or careers that they've fallen into rather than that they've pushed themselves into, where they don't feel the love for it, and they work most of the week to just enjoy the weekend, or and they don't feel like they have a choice, and they don't feel direction. And I find that, as I believe, people should be doing, what they want to do and what ignites their fire and moves them forward. And I want to give people the confidence to be able to, either discover why they're in the career they're in and fall in love with it again, or decide that they want to make decisions in that career with confidence and work with peers and make work on projects without the fear of not being the best, or the fear of what other people might think, or even changing careers completely. So that's the little bit like about me and how far and why I'm doing this and what got me into it. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's very wonderful. That I just heard you were traveling to London, and that's how you started uh,
Mm.
thinking or hearing about the podcast. And then you were a coach, and then you were like Canada skiing, everything, like chef.
Mhm.
Like I feel that you have a journey which actually build your confidence, and it actually allowed you to understand the confidence, that how it
Mhm.
should be and what kind of mindset should be. So I think by saying that, I want to ask you a question. As a mother, I have
Mhm.
7 years old child. How should I explain her about confidence? What should I tell her to be like how should she develop a confidence?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think confidence really comes from being authentically yourself. And for her as a 7-year-old, I would say do what makes her the most happy, and and like what makes other people the most happy as well. So although you get a lot of confidence from doing what you want and what does make you happy, when you can do things that make other people happy and serve other people, a lot more confidence can come from that. Like when you can uplift someone else and give them that smile, smile comes to you even bigger than it would do if you were doing something just for yourself. And I think the confidence, it's all about like being authentically you. So if you're really helping someone out and you're doing it because you want to and it makes you happy, when you see that effect on someone else, it really like brings that confidence in you because you know that what you're doing is helping other people and supporting other people. So I would say be yourself and help others be themselves.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I guess she will definitely understand this way that both like empathy has to be maintained as well as
Mhm.
focus on yourself too.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, uh, you know what I feel now. The confidence that we carry, I think, does it changes every um, with the ages? Let's say like 20 years, what confidence I had it was a
Mhm.
different confidence when I turned 30, and when I turned 40
Mhm.
it was like a different, maybe I grew a better
Mhm.
person, but explain me what was that difference in that confidence, that what I was carrying with the age, different ages.
Yeah, well, like when I was saying with the 7-year-old, it's as you get past that age, so like when you become around 12 or 13, it becomes a lot more about what other people think. And you get that fear of judgment, say, of what will others think if I do this? Or what's going to happen if I do this? And at that younger age, you don't have that fear so much of worrying about what other people think. But when we get older, especially during your teens and up, yeah, through your teens and well, up to being a young adult, what other people think is one of the most important things for you. Like at school, you want to be in the top sports team, or you want to have the coolest bags or the coolest clothes. Um, and once you move, that kind of sets a lot up for your confidence in your life because if you have those things or you're seen as cool and you're treated as cool, even if like confident, even if you're not that confident but you're treated as having confidence, that confidence grows in you because you believe that and that becomes your kind of narrative for possibly about for a very long time. So as we go up, we get built up to our young adult years. So when we're about 20 or 20 and below, we get built up, and then we have all these beliefs from
Yeah.
our past, and these come in different forms of confidence. But I believe as after this time, we're spending a lot of time like defiguring the beliefs that have built up. So we're kind of taking instead of I believe instead of building confidence, we're actually taking away parts of us that are holding this confidence in.
Mm.
And I think as we move on and we get older and older, from 20 to 30, you're kind of debunking that and finding out like who you really are and what you want. Um, and you have this period where you can muck up a lot. A lot of people have this period where I believe that 20 to 30, you have this chance to really do things out of your comfort zone and take on challenges and move in ways where you're not that worried because for many people they won't have these obligations or things where they need to be secure. They can kind of have this time where they don't need to be that secure on where they are. Like they don't have that if they don't have a house or they don't have a family yet, they can kind of go down and it's just them. They're just caring for themselves. They don't need to necessarily, no one else is relying on them. So they have that opportunity, that gap to try things. I think trying these things also really builds up your confidence. When you step out of your comfort zone and you do these things that you think that could, they can be hard for you or put you in a difficult position. That's okay, because you'll get in that position and you'll deal with it and you'll come out of it and you'll grow from both the difficult position, if it happens per se, and also making that decision in the first place to do that, whatever you decide to do. If you've taken on a venture of, or you've tried one career, you tried another career, you're going down a different route, you have that confidence come through those. And then once you get into your 30s and 40s, you're doing these things and as you do them, you're building up confidence, because you're doing the harder and harder parts of it, and you're moving through whatever you're doing and you're growing in that area. So that's giving you the confidence of experience. And then I think through that time, as you then get older, it's more like, but you still have quite a lot of fear of, I feel like in our society, we still have quite a lot of fear of judgment from other people still. But I think once you get, for a lot of people, from what I've heard from interviews in care homes, etc., nursing homes, is that they wish they kind of just didn't ever have that fear and they just did everything just for themselves. I believe when we do things for ourselves and we follow our purpose or our why or our goal or destination that we're looking to get to, it builds us with confidence, because we're no longer doing things for other people, we're doing things for ourselves. And when we do things for ourselves, this is when we build the most confidence, because we can feel fulfilled and we feel like we're on the right track, we feel like we're on the right purpose. So, but then when we get, once we get over a certain period, when you get into your 50s, 60s, 70s, the fear of judgment from other people is almost zero, because you realize that that's so not important to you anymore. There's a much bigger or even much smaller things that are so much more important than what other people might think or what other people do even think, because it's just like spending that 10 minutes with a grandchild or with your child is just so much more important, and making them happy, whatever you're doing, even if it's doing something that makes you look silly or whatever, you just don't mind now, because their emotions you value so much more than the judgment of others or even people you're never going to see again. Yeah, so I think that's kind of, for me, that's how I see it, like, change through our society. And at the moment, that's kind of how it goes. So yeah, do you have anything to add to that, do you think?
No, that explains a lot, like how it changes time to time. And